Mark chapter 12, the parable of the vineyard. Now Jesus addressed them in parables. Once there was a successful landowner and developer who cultivated a vineyard, fenced it thoroughly, bore a vole and made a winepress, and built a great tower. And he let it out to vine growers, and then traveled to a distant country. Now, as the time approached to harvest the grapes, the owner sent a servant to the vine growers to obtain his part of the harvest from them. But the vine growers only attacked the servant and drove him away without giving him anything. And so the owner dispatched another servant, and the vine growers pelted him with little rocks, causing him head injury, and mistreating him and embarrassing him. After which, they drove him away. Persistent, the owner dispatched another servant, and the vine growers assaulted and killed him. They killed many other servants, assaulting and wounding the rest. And thus, very persistent, the owner sent his very dear son, the last of all his envoys. No doubt, he thought, when they see my son, they will honor him. But the vine growers recognized him and plotted among themselves, saying, "This is the son of the owner, the heir. Let us kill him so that we may take the entire property and business." At once, they got him and killed him and threw him out of the vineyard. And Jesus asked, "What now will the owner of the vineyard do?" "He will return and kill those wicked men and give the vineyard to other vine growers." Have you never studied the scripture? The little rock which the architects rejected has become the splendid cornerstone. The Lord himself has done this, and it is most wonderful in our eyes. And the leading priests and the authorities of the law sought to arrest Jesus because they were aware that he had instructed this parable against them. But they feared the masses, and so they left him and left the place. And now they sent to Jesus a special group among the Pharisees and the Herodians to snare him with questions and statements. When these secret agents came, they told Jesus, "Teacher, we are quite aware that you speak and instruct correctly, and that you are not partial or biased in any way, but instruct the way of God truly and sincerely. Please inform us, is it lawful for our people to pay taxes to Caesar, Emperor of Rome, or not? Shall we pay them or shall we not pay them?" But Jesus, quite aware of their tricks and pretense, asked them, "Why do you try me? Let me see a denarius, a silver coin." They got one and took it to Jesus. And he asked them, "Whose face and writings are these?" And they replied, "Caesar's." Then Jesus told them, "Offer therefore to Caesar that which is Caesar's, and to God that which is God's." And the people were quite astonished at Jesus. Next, some of the Sadducees, who maintained that there is no resurrection, approached Jesus and asked him, "Teacher, Moses wrote the law for us, that if a married man dies without offspring, the dead man's brother, if he had a brother, should marry the widow so that they can have offspring on behalf of the dead man. As events happened, there were 7 brothers at a time. The first married a wife and died without offspring. Then the second married her as wife and died likewise without offspring. The same tragedy happened to the third. Eventually, all the 7 brothers married her and suffered the same fate. They all expired without offspring. And lastly, the woman also expired. So, on the day of resurrection, when the dead rise back to life, whose spouse does the woman become? For all the 7 brothers had married her,